Ever thought about sliding down your stairs or simply folding them flat against the wall? If your home is limited on space, you want to make the most out of every available inch. But the burden of big, bulky furniture and features can make that difficult. Well, look no further than some of the most innovative examples of space-saving design ideas I've rounded up from every corner of the internet. From 2D to 3D. In tiny spaces, folding furniture is a staple of everyday living. But looking at this amazing design solution, furniture storage is just a matter of perspective. This is the D-Dimension collection from South Korean designer Jeongga Choi. While they look like 2D paintings, you can simply pluck the design you need from the wall and fold it down to make it 3D. And once the aluminum frame is locked in place, you'll hear this very satisfying click. But with great design comes an even greater cost. The stools alone have sold for an eye-watering $460, and the long tables for $520. Now there's a price that's really off the wall. Modular marble. Trying to fit a circular table in a square room is like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, unless you're working with a curled table. This brilliant design from Michael Hilgers, owner of ID Studio, is a freestanding modular dissection of a normal table. This means sections of it can be used together or on their own to fit around corners and walls. The only downside is that it's designed in one color only. Obvious orange. Despite being so dynamic, I'm not sure I could deal with such a strangely colored centerpiece in my house. What do you think? Swiveling storage. Back at it again with the bright colors, Michael Hilgers has designed this incredible-looking pillar of storage called the Peel Trolley. Instead of a conventional drawer design, the Peel Trolley uses one column that allows different sections to swivel out. Not only does it seriously brighten up the room, but it also means an end to scrabbling around blindly in the back part of the drawer. What a citrus-colored savior. If you like to admire well-done designs as much as I do, why not take a closer look at the one on your screen right now? You see those like and subscribe buttons? With one simple click, you can transform your list of YouTube subscriptions into a fact-filled utopia. Plus, I upload new content every day, so you'll want to make sure you never miss out by tickling that little bell icon. All done? Let's go! Coffee table creation. How many tables do you have in your home? Side tables, coffee tables, dining tables, they can take up a lot of space, especially in smaller rooms. But Duffy London has thought of a transformative way to solve this problem. This is the Mark I Transforming Coffee Table. This little box-like structure uses cleverly placed hinges to fold up and out into a full dining table in just 2 simple movements. But something this ingenious certainly has its price. At 695 pounds, almost $900, it may save you space, but it probably won't save you money. Nesting knives. You may have heard of Russian nesting dolls fitting inside each other, but have you heard of German nesting knives? These deadlier, steelier brothers of the Russian nesting dolls are part of a collection called the Deglon Meeting Knife Set. They include a paring knife, utility knife, chef knife, and a slicer that all fit inside each other, inside a single steel block. But before you go fumbling around with those dangerous-looking blades and doing yourself an injury, how do you get them out? All of them can be removed from their solid steel home by simply pressing down on the tip to bring up the handle like this. But these premium knives also come with a premium price at a huge $740. There's no cost cutting on this price tag. Rack revolution. In small homes, even basic elements like a laundry rack can take up much needed space, which is where the 2-in-1 design of the Blindry comes in handy. As the name cleverly suggests, this ingenious design is what would happen if a laundry rack and a window blind had a baby. When it's up, the slatted frame does a great job of blocking out the sunlight, but pulling it down turns it into a rack that can dry your clothes indoors. As hyped as I'm sure you all are for this amazing innovation, it's purely conceptual for the time being. Man, now I really feel like I've been left out to dry. Ping pong project. If you ask me, ping pong is one of the best games on the planet. But if you want to play it in your house, then you'll need to find somewhere to fit the standard 9 by 5 foot tabletop. Struggling to think of a room? Well, how about having one installed into your door instead? This 2-in-1 design from Tobias Franzel unlocks at the top, pivoting out into the perfect surface to play a singles game of ping pong on. It's certainly nifty, but how much would you pay for one? Well, how does 12,600 pounds sound? That's over $14,000. While the design may be a game changer, for that price, it's more like game over. Pest prevention. Mosquitoes are like my ex-wife. Annoying, whiny, and hungry for blood. And to stop them from biting you in the night, you usually need to set up a net of some kind. The mosquitoes, that is, not the ex-wife. Trust me, I tried. But trying to get in and out of it can be more of a pain than the mosquito bites themselves. Fortunately, the company Movisi has come up with a reimagined mosquito net that takes away all that hassle. The Sky Broom hangs suspended from the ceiling on a metal frame, and using a hand-operated pull rope system, an origami-like rotation hoists the curtains up and down. Weighing just over 26 pounds, it's a really elegant solution to all your pest problems. Unless your pest is a 150-pound woman called Karen, in which case I can confirm it does nothing. Leading ladder. Short people will understand the struggle of having to step onto chairs to reach the elusive top shelf. But what if there was an easier way to get what you wanted? Introducing the Cherry Wood Closet Chair and Stepladder from Kirby Allison. With one simple flip, the top of the chair turns into a bottom support for an inbuilt stepladder. Although this particular chair is marketed as a luxurious convenience, you can get a less pompous version online for just $72. Now that's what you call a step up. Flawless flooring. While this may come as a shock to some of you, traditional Japanese living spaces don't rely on lots of furniture. Although tatami mats and floor sitting are a cultural norm, one bright innovator found a way to make the most out of this low-key living arrangement. Land Peel, developed by Shin Yamashita, is a foam floor that has panels you can flip up and fold out. From backrests to drink trays to seats and desks, the floor can be easily bent into whatever configuration is needed. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen floor space look so flexible. Sinking solution. While this next design is still in its conceptual stage, I wanted to float it to you anyway. This is the Lifting Sink, designed by students at the Zhengzhou University of Light Industry. On the surface, I admit, it looks like any other sink. But those metal rings aren't just for display. They're movable metal inlays. Depending on what you're using your sink for, you can choose the appropriate inlay and reduce the amount of water you use. The smallest setting could be used to wash vegetables, whereas the larger setting could be selected for washing pots and pans. It also closes fully, giving you way more counter space to work with in the kitchen. In theory, this sink is a dream for anyone who loathes washing up as much as I do, but it remains to be seen whether it'll float or sink in practice. Have these innovative design solutions wet your whistle when it comes to crafty interior decor? I'm sure some of you guys could dream up some amazing designs that you'd love to make a reality someday. Drop your ideas in the comments below. I'm genuinely interested to hear how creative you can get. But for now, let's head back to the professionals. Original obelisk. If you've got a small yard, the last thing you want is a bunch of furniture cluttering up what little green space you have. Fortunately for you, this isn't just yard furniture. This is the D-Don Obelisk, a series of garden chairs and tables that interlock into one pretty incredible piece of garden art. After a long day of hanging out with your friends in these stylish-looking seats, the 4 chairs and table can be stacked away tightly to become a sculpture instead of an eyesore. But you've really got to value that garden space to invest in this fancy furniture. Can you guess how much it costs? $500? $1,000? When it was last sold, this set cost a gut-wrenching $6,825. Ooh, forget the chairs. I think I need to lie down. Plywood winner. What could you make out of one sheet of plywood? While most people might struggle to think of anything beyond a pretty terrible door, young woodworker Ari Bologna was able to design something truly mind-blowing. Using just one sheet of plywood, Bologna created 9 almost identical boxes that would become part of a bookshelf. But not just any bookshelf. He mounted one of the boxes to his wall, and by cleverly placing a series of hinges to the other boxes, the bookcase could then be extended and moved. How incredible is that? With this young miracle woodworker as inspiration, what do you think you could make with just one sheet of plywood? Let me know in the comments below, and I might even get back to a few of my favorites. Turn and stare. Spiral staircases may look cool, but without any kind of understair storage options, they can also be fairly impractical. Well, it seems like that concern might finally be a thing of the past, thanks to the Eclectica Spiral Staircase by BPIU. Okay, I know I promised you a spiral staircase, and this looks more like a very tall set of drawers, but just wait. With the push of a button, a vertical mechanism twists the drawers connected to the main axis and shifts them round into the shape of a staircase. Each step can be used as a storage compartment or drawer, meaning there's not an inch of this vertically stacked stairway that doesn't have its own uses. Ceiling's the limit. Beds are some of the most cumbersome yet essential bits of furniture that get in your way every single day. But what if you could store your bed away in an unused space, like, I don't know, the ceiling? Say no more, because here are Voga beds. Just watch as, like something from a sci-fi movie, the bed almost magically drifts up and out of the way, leaving the space free to fill with so many other activities. Voga beds make this magic happen by installing a wall-mounted steel structure that attaches to the bed frame. The steel structure houses a brushless motor that safely lifts the bed to the ceiling and, more importantly, out of your way. But all magic comes with a price, and the price of this innovation is a sweet $5,500 plus installation. But if you ask me, I think having a bed that looks this cool is priceless. Big ticket bed. If money really isn't a problem for you, then you might be able to afford the Ferrari equivalent of all beds. This is the Hycan, the world's very first smart bed. It does everything a regular bed does, which is basically providing you with a surface to sleep on, except you can customize it to include a giant projector, home theater sound, and plug-and-play systems. Drop-down blinds give you privacy, as well as the perfect screen for a night of non-stop Netflix. And, of course, you can control it all with the touch of a button from your phone. But before you go dreaming about owning this state-of-the-art sleeper, can you guess how much it costs? Well, the first generation of this series started at $60,000. Now that's what I call a rude awakening. Water shortage salvation. Ever wonder how much water you use in a single shower? What's your best guess? According to the 2016 Residential End Uses of Water study, the average American shower lasts for 7.8 minutes and uses approximately 15.8 gallons of water. That contributes to global water shortages as well as draining your wallet. But Nebula 2.0 is here to challenge that. The technology in these showers atomizes the water into millions of tiny droplets, meaning you use less water but get the same temperature and coverage of a normal shower. As you can see, it uses 65% less water than that of a standard shower. They smashed their $100,000 fundraising target by receiving a whopping $2 million from backers. I guess there's no shortage of interest in this product. Ultimate Study Station. A lot of small homes don't have the room for a dedicated office space. But what if I told you that one chair was all you needed? Granted, the one chair is the colossal IW-R1 Zero Gravity Workstation Gaming Chair. But who needs an office when you can have a reclining throne to work in? The chair itself doesn't come with any of the fancy screens or games you see here, but it does come with a heavy price tag. For a huge $3,599, this workstation and gaming haven could be yours. And for that, you get a triple screen bracket, LED lighting, cup holder, and storage bin, along with a bunch of other features. If all that wasn't cool enough already, the arm also lifts up like the cockpit of a plane. Except I'd like to argue this is even more fly. Extractor fanfare. Extractor fans are the absolute worst. They're loud, they're a pain to clean, and more often than not, you end up smashing your head against their bulky hoods. But it doesn't have to be this way, thanks to Siemens' incredibly innovative workaround. Instead of using the overhead space to install the extractor, they've designed the downdraft extractor. It rises out of the worktop on demand, and the black glass canopy can be pulled forward to get to the grease filters. It may look like something from the distant future, but it's not the only one of its kind. The Miele integrated extractor is part of an induction hob that doesn't even need to rise up. From the hob level, it's able to filter out all the vapor from whatever's cooking. But the biggest difference between these two extractors is the price point. Whilst the Siemens extractor can be purchased on its own for around $2,700, the Miele only comes as part of an existing hob, costing around $4,000. When you filter them down like this, which one would you rather own? Poor decisions. Spilling wine is the worst. It can stain, it goes everywhere, and it smells for days after. Which is exactly why these wine bottle holders make for the perfect practical joke. The hilarious design makes it look like every wine lover's nightmare has come true. But they're just a couple of colored plastic stands to make it look like a wine spill, which keep the bottles tipped at an angle. This way, the cork is kept from drying out, saving the wine from oxidizing without having to use a cumbersome storage rack. So even though they look like they're wasting wine, they're actually saving it. Catnap. Design innovations aren't just for us, they're for our furry four-legged friends as well. Like this incredible designer cat shelf, containing a pouch that's just the right size and at the perfect height for any cat to comfortably take a nap in. Plus, they're raised off the ground, so they can get some peace and quiet without getting in anyone's way. While the design may look close to perfect, there seems to be a pretty obvious problem. You don't have to be an editing whiz to spot that the cat has been photoshopped into its ergonomic bed. I wonder why they couldn't tempt a real-life Moggy to test it out. Drop-down desk. Michael Hilgers is back at it again with the space-saving innovation for the ages, this time in the form of a 2-in-1 design. This solid wood shelf may look like something you could get at IKEA, but the hidden hinge in its design means the top can fold out to become a desk, doubling the size of your work surface. And when you're done, you can just flip it up and enjoy all the extra space you now have. Hilgers 3, IKEA 0. Silicone solution. Your bathroom should be a place of relaxation and tranquility, as well as the occasional emergency. But for some, the cramped size of a bathroom and everything in it can make you feel like you're being held hostage by your porcelain surroundings. But the Pixel bathroom design from Oriol Bari can help relieve you of this problem. The design involves a foldable silicone basin that pops out of the unit when it's opened. Because it's connected to the mains, the Pixel bathroom is still a fully functioning sink, with the added benefit of staying well out of your way when you're not using it. When packed away, it's just over 6 inches in width and even has sliding side compartments for all your essentials. Trick rack. Optical illusions can change how we perceive the world, and it seems like furniture is no exception. Just take a look at this field shelf designed by Dmitry Kozynenko to make you think the objects it's holding are floating. From a different angle, it's easy to see that the bends of the steel rods make up distinctive shelves and surfaces. But when the lighting is just right, all those rods seem impossibly straight. Disturbing seating. The field rack isn't the only furniture made out of wire that'll bend your mind. These incredibly unsettling chairs are part of a collection called Thin Black Lines by Japanese studio Nendo. At certain angles, the form of the chair doesn't even appear to be 3D, as they were designed to look like sketches that have come to life. Though they don't seem like they'd be too comfortable to sit on, they don't hold a candle to Pedro Reyes' Manos Sillas. That's hand chairs for those that don't speak Spanish. For some, the way that the hand looks as if it's just waiting to cup your butt seems rather inviting. But each individual finger can also be moved into different configurations and hand gestures. I'd hate to know what it'd be like to sit on after someone has tried to be funny with the middle finger. Brilliant basin. In small spaces, making the most out of what you have means sometimes using unconventional designs, much like this ammonite-shaped wash basin. From high-tech designs, the spiral shape of the basin takes inspiration from ammonites, an extinct sea creature from the time that dinosaurs walked the earth. While it may look like it belongs in a museum, the fully functional sink lets the water spiral around before it drains. Who said hygiene couldn't also be weirdly entertaining? Am I right, Ammonite? Timber twisters. Did you ever slide down stair banisters when you were a kid? Who am I kidding? It's just as fun as an adult. Well, that fond pastime doesn't have to end there. Say hello to this big kid's dream of wooden stair slides. They're built onto the edge of the stairs, so you can go straight down or even corkscrew around depending on how much space you have. While kids and immature adults like me would adore this, I don't think you'd see Grandma trying her luck on them. Not to mention the possibility of splinters. Yikes. High-rise slide. Stair slides aren't just a fun innovation, they can be a life-saving one too. Evacuating high-rise buildings during fires has been a design problem for decades. But Shanghai high-rise resident Zhao Miaorong had the idea to install an emergency slide in his building's fire escape to help residents get out quickly and safely. Made of a stainless steel and aluminum alloy, it's light enough to be unlocked and dropped within 30 seconds, so the residents are ready for a speedy exit. Although it would usually take people several minutes to evacuate from the 26th floor, this invention cuts that time to just 90 seconds. It could save hundreds of lives in a real emergency. Although, from the way that guy was hitting the corners, it may cost you your ankles too. Ooh, ouch. Cornucopia. Doors need to be carefully placed and planned if you want to avoid walking into them when they're open. So, how do you get around the problem of a doorway on a corner? Well, one ingenious option isn't to open them at all, but to slide them instead. This custom-built barn door by Russell Remodeling wraps around the corner using a series of rails and well-crafted wooden slats. This gives the door the flexibility it needs to slide open and close without any risk of being opened into some poor, unsuspecting schmuck. Staircase space saver. It may not cross your mind, but stairs take up a good chunk of space in your home with their slapdash placement. But that's no longer a problem if you have B-compact hybrid stairs. With just a simple touch, they fold out of the wall and into a set of stairs. More like a ladder and less like a staircase, this fantastic design gives smaller spaces way more usable room. What's more, they're made from sustainable bamboo laminated sheets and can support up to 200 kilograms. So they should suit your house just fine, providing you remember to lay off the cheeseburgers. Which of these amazing design innovations do you most want in your home? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.